Machine, the emptiness machine.
That's great. That's how you introduce your new vocalist. Just person at bar. That's great. Spoilers, by the way. Well, howdy, hi. Welcome to the channel. Today I'll be taking a look at what has quickly become a slightly controversial band. For those of you who don't know, a couple of years ago, the band Linkin Park suffered the loss of lead vocalist Chester Bennington. Much beloved songwriter and vocalist. His music has spoken to people of my generation especially, but to people across the board. I grew up with the Hybrid Theory album. Songs like In the End were on loop. Crawling is still on a lot of people I know's playlist. They have had a bunch of successful albums. Minutes to Midnight, What I've Done, is still a meme to this day because of its use in the Transformer films. So Linkin Park left a massive cultural footprint, needless to say. And with the loss of Chester Bennington, for a lot of people, Linkin Park died with him. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine when rumors started circulating of them getting a new vocalist. He was just like, I don't know, maybe they should just call it. And I'll address that sentiment somewhere throughout this video. But long story short, a couple of days ago, 4 days ago, they released the official music video for their first song since his death that is not featuring in some way Chester. This is the new Linkin Park with a new vocalist, and it has spurred a conversation. Let's put it that way. There are a bunch of people covering it, but a bunch of people discussing the song. There has been the sentiment, and I will say this is not a full blind reaction. This is more, I guess, a review, because I have heard bits of the song, so I'm not going in blind. I tried to do a little bit of research beforehand as well. This song to me is really exciting because this is a new page, a new chapter in one of my favorite bands' story. And unfortunately, a percentage of fans, or I'm going to even say fans, aren't happy. I'm going to get into it. I have some thoughts.
Your blades are sharpened with precision. Flash in your face.
I'm going to say, I think they knew exactly what they're doing, starting with Mike Shinoda's vocals. Choosing a song that, because it's always been a band with dual vocalists. Yes, Chester Bennington has always been like the lead vocalist, but a bunch of my favorite songs, Castle of Glass comes to mind. Chester only comes in the chorus. Similar to this, it's a very similar song to Castle of Glass actually. I really like that album. I can't remember what the album's name was now, but I think they knew exactly what they were doing, kind of easing us in to like, oh, new Linkin Park album. Like, before I saw this video, I had no idea who the vocalist was. So I just click on it, and it's Mike Shinoda. I'm like, oh, is he just going to be the sole vocalist now? That's kind of the first thought I had, because I hadn't seen anything in the news of a new vocalist or anything like that. So I think they knew exactly what they were doing, starting off the song with Mike Shinoda.
Point of view. I know you're waiting in the distance, just like you always do, just like you always do. Already pulling me in, already under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me open just to watch me.
Even doing the whole chorus, just him.
Who I am for who you wanted me to be.
They knew exactly what they were doing here. I love the kind of like I haven't gone too deep in the lyrics, but I love like the vibe I'm getting is that a lot of this is discussing kind of art versus content, human-made art versus maybe, I don't know if AI art specifically being addressed. The song is literally like called the Emptiness Machine. And it's this lyric about like, I'm giving you so much and you just tear me open and like you don't care about me. The kind of, my first, surface level reading is that this is very much about kind of dehumanization of music. But I love that, like the digital glitch, like that sometimes happens on sites like YouTube where like a frame will skip or like a frame will get stuck and then the digital smear over that. That's really cool.
The emptiness machine, the emptiness machine.
That's great. That's how you introduce your new vocalist. Just person at bar. That's great. Spoilers, by the way.
Going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we lose.
Because I'm just gonna say it. I love her vocals so much. I know that some people are like don't agree, but Emily Armstrong is an excellent choice. I love her vocal style. She performed with another band for a while, so she's been in the industry for a while. She's not like just popped off out of nowhere. But Emily Armstrong is an excellent choice, not as a replacement for Chester Bennington. I'm gonna just jump into some of my thoughts. Sorry to interrupt the song. I know this is technically supposed to be sort of a reaction video. There have been kind of two poles of people who are unhappy with Emily Armstrong as the lead vocalist for Linkin Park. There are the she sounds nothing like Chester crowd. I'm going to address that first. It would have been such a short-sighted choice to just find a sound alike. Because this isn't a legacy act that's planning to just perform the old hits again. Even though they are performing the old classic songs. But this is a new vocalist. They've worked on a new album. So they plan on releasing music far into the future. The fact that some fans are closed-minded enough to just go, oh, you should have used this YouTuber or this person on TikTok who sounds exactly like Chester. That shows that you have no idea what goes into making music and being in a band. It's clear they've chosen someone they plan to work with long term. That's the other thing is you're touring, like if you've toured with musicians, it has to be a person you get along with. I don't know what her involvement is from a writing perspective. Mike Shinoda might be doing most of the writing, I don't know, but in the room of people who's contributing to a song, that's something to consider. Just having a good vocalist who can do a carbon copy impression of Chester is not enough. And what breaks my heart is the songs you love as a guy in your 30s, I'm assuming, if you're the kind of person who's upset with this choice, you're likely a guy in your late 20s, early 30s. Those songs are still there. You can just go listen to them. But there's a 13-year-old edgy kid who feels his parents don't understand him. This is his Linkin Park. The same way you felt about Crawling and What I've Done when you were in high school and you were just getting into heavier music and you found Linkin Park, your older brother gave you a Linkin Park CD. The Emptiness Machine and the album Zero, this will be some people's first Linkin Park album. To them, Linkin Park will have Emily Armstrong as the lead vocalist and Chester Bennington as the original vocalist. If that makes sense. I also wanted to discuss that she's not the only new member. That's the only one I see discussions about. There's a new drummer. His name is Colin Britton. I did some research. And he's doing a great job. I have no notes. Linkin Park, it's not a band known for like big chops. So the drummer has always kind of served a bit more of a backline purpose in bands like Linkin Park. But I do find it telling that nobody has questioned for a second the new drummer. Nobody is questioning for a second any of the production choices that Mike Shinoda has made, any of the choices to do with anything. But new vocalist not being, and I kind of wanted to avoid this. I wasn't sure if I want to bring it up. Is it just because it's a girl? Like, I know you're going to jump. No, it's not because it's a girl. Isn't it, though? Because I feel like if they found a dude that sounded exactly like her. She's incredible. She's nailing vocal parts that most vocalists I know couldn't do. She's also doing that blend of clean and harsh vocals that Chester was known for. So she is doing a similar style in a lot of places, but bringing her own. And I love a female vocalist. But I feel like there's this percentage of people who haven't listened to Linkin Park in 10 years jumping on social media and like, that's not my Linkin Park. That's not a girl. Dude, the best vocalists I know in the whole world are women. In rock, not just in pop music. So I gotta ask, are people, if this was one of the fan cast people that, like one of the dudes that sound exactly like Chester, if they found a YouTuber that sounded exactly like Chester, would people have been like trying to pull up her past? She apparently supported someone. I don't care. supported someone who people don't like, and she has ties to like maybe Scientology or something. I don't care. Is she a good musician? Yes. And I'm baffled that the second they found a new vocalist who they have made the choice to work with long term. Again, they've worked on an album. They're touring. So this isn't just a session situation. They've chosen a new family member. And it is fascinating to me that people will jump on social media and think they have the right to say, no, they made a bad call. That's so interesting to me. Again, I count myself a fan of original Linkin Park. I have a relationship with their music, not with them as people. And there are people who have been saying on social media that they feel betrayed in some way. You fascinate me. Honestly, and what I really appreciate is Mike Shinoda made a statement on this. He's like, I know it's a shock. I'll see if I can find the clip.
For a lot of fans who grew up with us the way, with Chester singing, it's a big change and an emotional moment, right? For us to be coming back and for us to have anybody else singing the songs. And I respect that, man. Like, for some people, they're ready to jump on board and follow the band around the planet. And other people are like, this is like weird to me. Like, it's hard for me to wrap my brain around it because I never imagined the band sounding any other way. So like, our door is open to those people. Like, you don't have to come around today, but like, give us a chance. We're doing exactly what we want to do. We love this new album. You guys, I'm like so pumped about this new record. Take it for a spin. Give us a shot. I think you'll like it. You may not like it the first minute, but I think you'll be able to wrap your heads around it. And by the way, connect with the fact that sometimes, like for a band like us, you can go through something very difficult and get knocked down and have the guts and spend the effort and the time to get back up again and go out there.
There are a lot of people who are going to discover Linkin Park for the first time and join us as fans. I think the real fans are going to stick along. I personally love seeing a new direction for a band pop off. Then there's this like other group of people who have been saying that Linkin Park should just have stopped existing when Chester passed away, which is wild. My wife and I discussed it. Like, imagine if you worked for a company or at a shop or something and an executive passed away or somebody important passed away and I was like, okay, cool, everyone's going to lose their jobs now. In fact, we're a close-knit family of artists who love making something beautiful, but now one of the artists isn't here anymore. We're going to stop doing the thing. That's wild. Again, I think people, they forget that the remaining members of Linkin Park are still people who love working together.
I know that in the context of the music that's not released yet, like, I know that I love it. Like, I think her voice is incredible. And the best thing for people who have such a strong connection to Chester to know about me is that Chester was a one-of-a-kind person and a one-of-a-kind voice. And Emily is also a one-of-a-kind person and a one-of-a-kind voice. Like, she's not trying to be him. She's trying to be her. And it so happens that I think she singing on these songs sounds like Linkin Park.
I think it's an excellent song. Let's jump back in. I love her vocals so much. Oh, so good. Like, again, if I interpret this, maybe the Emptiness machine is social media itself. That's kind of the interpretation I think I'm landing on lyrically. It is such a good song. Her vocal is perfect. It feels perfect. Again, kind of harsh. It's not quite like metal, but it's heavier than some of the more kind of radio-friendly stuff that Linkin Park have done in the past. A thing Mike Shinoda said is give it a chance. When the album comes out, and I'll be doing a full review of the album, I'm going to lay into it. I think I'm going to try and be critical of it, but I know I'm going to come in as a fan. But give it a chance. To those who are hating and say, nah, this isn't my Linkin Park, but those songs are still there. Go enjoy those albums. I'm also going to willing to bet. When's the last time you actually listened to one of those albums all the way through? And I don't mean just listen to like the 1 or 2 songs you have in your playlist. Because a lot of the people I've been seeing complaining, again, maybe haven't listened to Linkin Park in like 10 years. And now all of a sudden they're mad that their favorite band has changed on them. I think this is going to be a killer new direction for this band. Again, I love this digital compression look.
I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part of.
Like, this is classic Linkin Park though. Like if I didn't have a one-sided relationship with one of the artists, then this would be just as good, I think. Cool video as well. I haven't discussed the video at all. Well, I have discussed the digital compression thing. I love that. That, I think, this is an awesome song. I think it's going to be an awesome new direction for Linkin Park. Like I said, I honestly encourage anyone who's like a little iffy on the new vocalist, give the new album a chance when it comes out. I think it's maybe somewhere next year or later this year. I didn't do my research. Enjoy the old, but like, to me, it's about the music. Is the music good? And I really like a female harsh vocal. I'm a big Spirit Box and Anchor fan. Like that's kind of the sound I've been enjoying a lot of recently. And I find it so interesting that with certain bands, the guitarist can switch out, the drummer can switch out, he can replace bassist can switch out, nobody bats an eye. But the vocalist could change, and everyone's like, nope, throw it out with the bathwater, no more band, band should have died, move on. That's wild. This band, this band is just as much the other members as was Chester. He's a core member, but like, so I think I enjoy the discussion. Yell at me in the comments. I think this is a great song. I'm excited to see where the album goes. This to me was just a nice Linkin Park song. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you one of those people who feels Linkin Park should have just died? There's no replacing a vocalist or a band member like Chester Bennington. Every musician I've ever worked with, I know I could never replace. It's a different thing. When I work with other vocalists or other guitarists or other drummers, I'm working with a different musician with a different musical identity. And I think that's what this is Linkin Park have added to their kind of sonic palette. What do you think of the new direction? Are you looking forward to the album? What is your take on this whole idea of band member turnover? Like I said, I feel like I've seen bands rotate, like have rotating doors of members all the time. It's only when vocalists get changed that people get weird. One of my favorite bands, Dragon Force, I personally think the new vocalist, he's been with the band for probably over 10 years now. But the original vocalist, I don't care for. I became a big fan of Dragon Force after they changed their lead vocalist. How cool is it that the band that I grew up with, that I have so many fond memories of hanging out with my friends, blasting friggin' What I've Done, that same band is delivering new music in 2024. That is so exciting. And I'm almost mad that people on social media want to get angry because it's not what they would have done in regards to the choice of the lead vocalist. I kind of grown-ups are talking. The band made a good choice. Like, maybe that's my opinion, maybe that's up to taste, but I think she's a great fit for the sound of the band. But how cool is it that Linkin Park is making new music? I am so incredibly excited for this album. And I know that there's a 13-year-old that's a lot like me, who's got to discover Linkin Park through this album, and then go back and enjoy the great stuff that they did with Chester Bennington. He's going to discover all the songs that I loved, and it will be this beautiful intergenerational kind of appreciation for the same band. That's rare. Usually these kinds of bands become legacy acts where they just perform the same songs for the next 10 years and then eventually stop performing. So I'm very incredibly grateful to be getting more Linkin Park, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Which side of this conversation are you on? Please yell at me in the comments if you think I'm a complete idiot. Subscribe if you like anything I do here. New music coming out end of the week. Also, go check out, I haven't mentioned yet, but go check out my Patreon. You don't have to give me money, but you can feel free to go follow me for free on there. I post updates and so on music. We're working on an album of original music at the moment. So go check out if you want to see updates on original music or anything there. I also post videos a little bit early there for those who want to see them. But thank you so much. Okay, bye.
My hope is that Emily can be Emily, and if you're feeling like a connection to Chester when you're listening to the music, then let that come through you. His singing can come through the mouths of the crowd, as opposed to like putting Emily in that weird position. I think the best thing for her to do is her to be herself. Obviously, like, we all love what Chester, how Chester sang and what he meant to the band. So that goes without saying.